All right, today we are going to finish these A-pillar gussets. So that's what I'm gonna do first. I just need to weld them on real quick. It shouldn't take too long, and then hurry up, get the B-pillar gussets done, and then make the windshield gusset. That one's gonna be a little tricky to do. Shouldn't be too hard to figure out how to do it. And then we're gonna run to the store. Gotta grab some etch primer so I can hit the top of the cage some more. And some white spray paint. So I'm not going to be spray painting the car or the inside or whatever. I do have real paint and I plan on actually painting it, but I don't feel like painting the inside when the roof is off because I want to get the roof on today or tomorrow. So I'm going to hit the top of it with some primer as well as some somewhat matching gloss white spray paint. It's not perfect, but at least the top will be completely covered and I don't have to worry about any corrosion starting up there. But time to get started. I'll stop rambling.
The thing is, Bob, it's not lazy. It's that I just don't care.
All right, both sides are welded on right now. I mean, they came out fine for MIG. They laid pretty flat on there. With these, I mean, you definitely just have to crank up the settings for like the thicker tube and just purely focus on there. That's all I do, so I just focus on the tube for like the entire time, and then I'll just barely do like a little E up just to like kind of give it a little bit of a nicer ripple. But they don't look too bad. So I'm not worried about how they look. These areas up in here, it was really hard to prep all of that and get all the paint and stuff out, and obviously I started to catch all of the other side on fire. So this is like all the urethane and whatnot from the window, and that started on fire quite a bit, but not a big deal. It was just really difficult getting in there to completely clean the surface. But we're good with these, so time to move on to making the gussets for the B-pillar. All right, these B-pillar gussets should be pretty easy to make. So they're only going to be not very long, probably like 14 inches if I had to roughly say, and they're going to be roughly triangle shaped, not triangularly. I don't think that's a word. So we'll see at the top here, 3 1/8. I'm going to have it tapered to about 1 1/4 inches, so I'm going to mark exactly where 1 1/4 inches is on here, where it's at the center of the tube, so that it can follow that slant. It's a little weird. All right, so right there. So all the way from here, all the way up is pretty much going to be my gusset, and I can make it different size holes as it progresses and gets a little wider. So this is at a weird curve, and this is also at a curve, so I can't make them perfectly straight. Well, I can, I just have to account for that angle on one of them. All right, so I'm gonna run from my mark all the way to the top. It's like I'm right at 12 inches. So my dimensions that I have, 12 inches in length, 3 1/8 inch at the top, and 1 1/4 inch at the bottom, and it should be able to follow down the center of this tube the whole way. That way it won't look hokey, kind of like changing where it lays on the tube as it goes down, as long as my measurements are right. So with this, I'll be able to run different size Dimple dies all the way up. So I'll probably start with the same size that I ran for the A-pillar. So that was a 3/4 inch Dimple die, and then increase as I can. That way it kind of has like a uniform aesthetic appearance, and I need to just make sure I get my spacing correct with that, so that way it doesn't look hokey as well. So I'm going to transcribe this onto a piece of sheet metal and cut it out real quick. All right, it doesn't fit too bad. I need to change the angle up here to actually match the roof, so it needs to be angled more like that. And then I'll be able to slide up a little bit further and get rid of just a little bit of this edge. And then I'm gonna clean up the slag too on here, and then test fit it again, but it should fit really well once I do that. Alright, fits pretty good in there right now, and it pretty much works for the other side. The only thing that's different is this top angle. It's opposite on the other side, so I just flipped it around, made note of that for this one, or for the opposite side. So now I gotta figure out exactly how I want to space these things out. And ran into the same problem. I have no holes or anything to cut holes, that is, for the sizes that I need. I ordered them on Amazon actually like 8 days ago, and Amazon has let me down. The Prime is failing. They really get backed up during this time of the year, like New Year's and Christmas, so they get like really behind, which kind of sucks. So I'm gonna take a quick drive to the store, come back, finish cutting these holes. Finally got stuff so I can make the right size holes. Not a fan of Ace Hardware hole saws. I think it broke almost every single one of the teeth on that thing. I was just cheap, and I bought the Ace brand instead of the Milwaukee brand like I've been doing. These things are great though. The hole dozers, and they last a really long time. They actually have a warranty if they break the teeth off. So I haven't actually broken any of them though. Like, these actually last a really long time. But this one, yeah, this is Ace Hardware brand. Do not buy this. It sucks. Pilot bit doesn't stay in there, and it walks a whole bunch, so I have like these nasty looking holes now on these. So try to clean it up the best I can. I'll probably, for the other side, I'm gonna drill in from the back side. That way if I get these nasty walking holes again, I don't have to like try to fix it. So I'm gonna clean up these so I don't bleed, and then get them pressed out, and we'll be able to clean up the area that it's actually going to weld in, and then tack it in place. Alright, this side came out pretty good. The weld's laid pretty flat on there, so the settings are pretty much dialed in on there. I don't think it looks too bad for MIG. I couldn't really get up in there. If I did, it would be really nasty looking, so I'm not even going to try. Time to start on the other side. Should be able to knock that out pretty quick. this side is fully welded too. I also hit the back side, which you can't even see, so I'm not even gonna bother, but I hit the back side up here where I couldn't really get in front. I got it from the inside of the car, so that's welded with a stitch on both sides. But these came out pretty good too. The only thing, my spacing, like I tried to do 4 ripples per, and I accidentally did like 5 right here. So my spacing was fine, but kind of messed up in the welds, and they're not perfectly uniform ripples. Try to, but you know, not the best with that kind of stuff. So I think it looks decent though, and I'm happy with how they look. I think they look really cool in there, which is pretty much the whole point. It's just for aesthetics. Well, in an effort to try to keep my videos a little bit shorter and easier to edit, like my new plan is, which if you don't like, let me know, and I'll include more into them. But this is all I'm going to do for this video, but I am going to film more today, so I'm not really sticking true, because it is the weekend, to like my normal plan of 1 full day of work, and I'll throw that in a video, because on the weekends I'm going to have more time to actually work on the car. It would make really long videos again. So I'm not going to bother doing that, just so it's a little bit shorter, hopefully like sub 15 minutes, to try to get more people to watch the full thing, because that's a big thing on YouTube too. Or I could just go and make 25-minute long videos, so if you only watch 8 minutes of it or whatever, it looks better than if you watch 4 minutes of my 14-minute video. So I don't know, stupid YouTube analytics, it's not a big deal, but it's more so for ease of me editing. So I'll stop rambling. I'm going to try to knock out the windshield gusset here in a minute, so you guys will see that tomorrow, and then I'm going to go grab some paint after that and paint the top of the cage like I said in the beginning of the video. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.